They will go with a stretch, and that is a great seal on the edge. To this offense in this game, exactly what we need, as it's the flat Higbee. We let up a little bit late there, but we definitely were just in cruise control. But consistency is what this team has lacked. Will Levis throwing down to the bottom, and he has the touchdown going to the rookie. Touchdown, an onside recovery, and a little bit more onside. It's kicked up, but recovered by number 8 of the Titans. We would drop another game, this time to the Chargers. We lose to Jacksonville 38-16. And in what inevitably is another losing season, this is a win for us. Their series has all been about as Levis coughs it up. Gardner Minshew led us to a Super Bowl dub as Diaby. To watch, I want to say Madden 23, but it will unfortunately solidify this as being the worst season. And coming off of what inevitably was the worst season for us so far by record, only 4 wins, season 3 comes to an end with the Jaguars winning the Super Bowl 27-24 over the Seahawks. It's their first ever Super Bowl championship, and it's Kenneth Walker III that is the Super Bowl MVP. Though over on the right-hand side, you can see the player we tried to trade for in Lamar Jackson is the NFL MVP. And with that, it obviously makes sense that no matter what we threw at the Jaguars, they would not make the trade. So we went with Jair Alexander. We also see over on that right-hand side, still towards the bottom, Offensive Rookie of the Year is Johnny Beverly. He did go up to a star dev, so there is at least some good for us moving into the offseason. And with that, we have quite a lot of work we need to get doing right now with some player re-signings. Micah McFadden, one of our starting linebackers, not much interest. Ronnie Stanley, continually, we've had to put him on the franchise tag, might have to do that as well. Will Levis does not have any interest in coming back, so we've got some work ahead of us for sure. So starting at the beginning here, Micah McFadden. He's looking for a 3-year deal here. We have plenty of money, so we could boost these numbers a little bit. Make sure we try to bring back as many of these guys as possible, and McFadden will. As for Ronnie Stanley, he's looking for a 1-year deal. We're going to make it 2 just to finish off this series, and hopefully he will finally sign one of these. We'll bump up the numbers as well, make it $23.5 million per season, more than his expectation of 22.1, and he's just not interested in signing. So again, we were going to offer him 23.5. Franchise tag is exactly that. So that's most likely what we're going to do. But we need to also make sure we have a quarterback. So Will Levis. At times he's looked really good. At times he's also looked pretty bad. But he's the highest rated option we have. So we will offer him a deal here, 3 years. And he's not interested in signing either. Now, what does the franchise tag look like for him? $36.4 million. I think we could offer a better deal in open free agency. If he doesn't take it, we might have a new quarterback. Maybe Zappy will have to step in. We'll see. Now, Nick McLeod, he's been a starter for us, so definitely want to make sure we keep him around as well. So I'll bump up these numbers a little bit, and hey, we finally got one in. Now, Tommy Tremble was a recent addition, and he might be in line for a starting tight end spot this year, so I do want to try to bring him back. He has some interest, raise up the salary, and he's excited for it. Now, Charlie Jones, kind of the opposite. Similar overall, but at receiver, he really hasn't seen much playing time. Still want to make sure we keep him around. He has some interest, raise up the bonus. Okay, so the guys that may not be starting, at least they're signing. Now for Luke Fortner. He's been a starting center for us, and he's played decently, so we will offer him some money as well. 2 years, $6 million. That will be a signing. Now, as for the defensive line, Jerry Tillery, again, he's been starting. We don't have a lot of options for the interior of the defensive line, so we'll raise up the bonus here, and he'll sign it as well. Now, in the same step, we have Sheldon Rankins. He's continued to regress, but we don't have very many other options. We'll put in an offer, though right now he may not be that interested, and he will test. So here's the list of the players moving on for now. Forrest Lamp, Sheldon Rankins, Kurt Hinish, Kelvin Joseph, David Bell we're moving on from, he might come back. Now we have to decide between Will Levis and Ronnie Stanley. I think it would be far more likely that we could re-sign Will Levis, so we will place the franchise tag instead on Stanley, and we'll see if Levis returns. And we would actually take care of all open free agency move within the first stage, bringing in Zadarius Smith, and indeed Will Levis does return. Now, funnily enough, no one else offered him, so he was just sitting there for us. We didn't offer a massive contract. It's actually pretty cheap for a starting quarterback. We also brought in Derek Barnes, probably going to be a backup, but you never know because of injuries. Brought in a new backup offensive lineman in Robert Hainsley. We've had Forrest Lamp. He really hasn't done all too much, so we're bringing in someone new. We also bring back Kurt Hinish. We passed on Sheldon Rankins due to regression. Hinish has been progressing slowly but surely, and he actually has some better block shedding ability than Rankins with regression. But now from there, we could focus more so onto the draft, where we have a second round pick and a whole bunch of 6s and 7s. Nothing in between, nothing before. And there happens to be a receiver here who supposedly is really good in Levi Brown. He's a round 1 to 2 projection, though the talent is top 5. We could still use summer help at receiver, but there really is just not a whole lot we have to trade up to most likely get to the spot where Levi Brown could go. He has some speed, though. All around, he looks to be a phenomenal athlete, has some release. Short and medium route running are really good, with deep route running being pretty solid. He has some hands as well with awareness. Considering how much help we need on offense to get that side going, maybe trading up as much as we can with whatever we have for Levi Brown might be a pretty solid option. Past him for the offensive side, well, there is Max Footy or Foot. I don't know where the E does. To be honest, he's around 3 to 4 projection, though his true talent is undrafted. Though at least he seems to have good catch and traffic catching and deep route running, so maybe we scoop him up later. We will see. There is a round 1 offensive lineman that would be great, but again, getting into that first round could be pretty difficult. There is a round 3 to 4 DT run stopper in Tyreek Bethel, though again, the ratings are C's. We've drafted these guys and they haven't done a whole lot. There is a speed rusher here, round 1. Again, getting into round 1, not very easy, and we're pretty solid at edge rush. Day 3 linebacker here, a run stopper in Monty Brackett. Could maybe be a depth player for us. Then we get into the DBs. There is a round 2 to 3 who's actually around 3 to 4. Zone and man both at C's, with press being B. I don't think that would come in and be an immediate starter for us, but maybe could develop into that. But we now have Jair Alexander. Our other younger corners have actually done really well. There's a couple other day 3 options, and then there is another safety in Ryan Campbell. But I think we're good at safety. We've talked about safety a lot after bringing in Love, and then finally over the last year and a half, getting him over to free safety and then moving Alohi Gilman to strong. Gilman has played really well there, so I think we're good at safety. So when it comes to the draft, there are some options for some depth, but if there's going to be an impact talent, it might be Levi Brown. Now, if we were to make a trade, currently mock draft 5, they have the Kansas City Chiefs drafting him at spot 23. So we would have to get above them, getting into 21, 22, that kind of area to pick up another receiver who could really help us. Now, if we were to do that, quite obviously, we would have to give him our second round pick. But what else could we give? Well, we have a whole lot of 6s and 7s, as mentioned. We would probably bundle up some of these to get into the 4th, 5th round to maybe find some potential there. But in the future, well, next year, all we have is a 5, 6, and 7. That's the final draft that we could actually do anything with. We could pull from the 2028, and we have a 1st, 2nd, 4th, 5, 6, and 7. So there is a chance that maybe with this one and the 2, we might be able to move up to get Levi Brown. But first off, we've got to get to that area and even see if those teams will trade with us. So I'm going to move pick by pick. And if he goes before we get into the early 20s, again, that 20, 21, 22, then doesn't seem like it's in the cards for us. But if we get to that spot, we will definitely try a trade. And we have made it to spot 20. Again, expected to go to Kansas City Chiefs. He has not gone yet. So let's get to the Vikings. I love trading with the Vikings. Texans don't go with him. They go with a left guard. Cardinals at 21. They go with Rashawn Hatcher. Will the Vikings be nice to a Vikings fan? Well, here is what they are asking for. Ronnie Stanley, definitely not happening. Kyron Williams, definitely not happening. But they will take our current 2, the 2028 2, and first round. And again, we cannot use that 2028 draft. That's after our 5th season, so might as well use it here. We're going to trade up with the Vikings, and we're going after that receiver. We need as much talent for the offense as possible. Help out Will Levis as much as possible. And if around 1 to 2 true talent of top 5 receiver is not a hidden dev, then I don't know how else we could do anything here. Levy Brown is finally that hidden dev. Thank you, Madden. 91 speed, 93 acceleration with 95 agility, 93 change of direction, some 87 jumping, and 72 strength is not bad. But now, what do we do with 3 6th-round picks and 5 7th-round picks? Well, of the guys we have available to us, there's a tight end that doesn't look like he's going to be that good. Day 3 tight end. DT in the round 3 to 4, so maybe we could try to move up. We could use some depth at the minimum there. A day 3 guy at linebacker, off ball, not too bad of an option. I don't think the corner is going to help us out. And yeah, I think if anything, the guys to kind of go after would be the DT and then maybe just some of these day 3 guys if they're sitting around. So let's maybe try to use some of these picks, see what's possible if we get to that 3rd or even top of the 4th round. If Bethel's still there top of the 4th round, we trade up. And you might be wondering why we now sit in the 6th round rather than in that 4th round I was just talking about. Well, that was because I accidentally misclicked, and when I went to skip ahead in the draft, meant to click on next round, I clicked on next user pick. So that does mean we unfortunately are going to miss out on some opportunity for guys in this class. What we have left is a bunch of picks. There are some day 3 guys at corner. Do we need any of these guys? I don't think so. The ratings don't look that impressive. So what we're going to do instead, this is going to be a 1-person draft class. We're going to bundle up these picks for future picks and see what that gives us. And for the first bundle, it's going to be a 6 and 3 7s, and the Raiders are actually going to offer up a 4th round pick next year. Best offer, we will take that one. And with our next trade, we will send 2 7s and 2 6s to the Titans, and we'll bring in their 4 and their 7. So with that, it ends up being a very small class, but an impactful one, as we draft a 79 overall receiver, already going to come in, if not the highest overall receiver, one of the highest overall receivers on our team, hidden dev Levy Brown. He's got hands, he's got route running, releases in a pretty good spot as well. He will 100% be on the outside, which is going to put Beverly on the other outside spot, Wan'Dale Robinson down the slot, and we have some pretty good depth guys to rotate behind all 3 of those. Now, as for the DT, I accidentally skipped by Tyreek Bethel is a 67, so he wouldn't have really been in a starting lineup for us at all. All of the ratings are well below 70, which is kind of the cutoff for maybe getting some playing time. So all in all, it was probably a good thing that we did not trade up for him. And here is the starting lineup moving into season 4. Offensive line stays the same, with Hainsley as primarily our backup, then Mustapher. We also have a couple other guys there. Higbee will remain starting tight end for now, though if he has a slow start, Trimble could definitely move up. Those 2 very close in overall now. Obviously, Will Levis still our quarterback here, Zappy behind him. Also fairly close overall. Who knows, maybe we'll have to pull a trigger if Will Levis does not have a good season. Williams still obviously going to be our primary guy here on offense. We had an injury to Charleston in preseason, so he's out for the first 3 weeks. So we have Franklin and Hines, 2 guys that were UDFA signees. Now, Levi Brown will be getting the start at wide receiver 1. I wanted to put Beverly there, but typically wide receiver 1 plays against cornerback 2, and then vice versa for wide receiver 2. So trying to play the better matchups here. Brown will be the number 1. Beverly is going to be number 2. Then we're going to have Wandale Robinson, then Claypool, then Charlie Jones, then Equanimous St. Brown. And hopefully that's going to be the best receiver group that we've had since season 1, prior to a lot of regression happening to our higher overall receivers at that point. Defensively, we're going to try something new for the defensive line. Yaya Diaby, Paschal, Smith, and Allen. So we're playing essentially all edge rushers across the line. Smith and Paschal, they both have better awareness, equal strength, slightly better block shedding than our true DTs. So we'll start with those 2 for now. They're also going to be our rush DTs. We're going to see how the run game does. If that starts lacking, then maybe we'll go back to true DTs, and then these 2 will just stick as DT rushers. We're trying things here because we need this group to step up. It's right now the weakest group of this defense that actually has been playing fairly well. Linebackers doing fantastic. JOK up to a 90 overall. Bentley still holding on in the 80s. He's seen some regression. McFadden moving his way up. Safeties, phenomenal. We have Jair Alexander for a full season now. Valentine has done well. We got McLeod, Eccles, and Alden. It should be a pretty well-rounded defense. Best we've had so far. And I feel like for the first time in this series, we don't open up with 2 straight divisional games. We do have the Texans in week 2. We've just seen them so often. I want to start here in week 1, then get through a couple weeks, jump into another game, ebb and flow till we get to week 8. Though I'm not too sure we're going to have any trades happen this season. We will see, but for now, let's jump in week 1. And it will be Will Levis and the offense getting us going in. We really need to see Levis take a step forward. Not that there's a whole lot of competition, unfortunately, as the first pass of the season finds the rookie. Levy Brown's first catch is a first down gain of 10. Really excited to see what the combination of him and Beverly have in store. 2 very well-skilled guys, but 2 different kind of builds, as that was an early whistle. Not too sure how much of that came through in the audio, but yeah, that was blown well before Williams was down. Only a gain of 1. Dropping back to pass as we're going deep downfield. Beverly gets the grab. He pulled up, back shoulder throw. Your former offensive rookie of the year. 2 big plays to find our young receivers to get going. Now, if Williams wants to take this to the house, that'd be great. Or hold on to it, Levis, he will. Through the tag team sack there of Brooks and Williams. Makes it 2nd and 17 as we stay spread 2 up top, 1 below. Hand it off to Williams, our Williams. He will gain a couple trying to fight through. Should make it a gain of about 5. Well, that does leave us needing 12 here on 3rd. At the 28, first down is about the 15 and a half. Levis going up top and overthrowing Robinson. Looks like we will have to settle for the field goal unit here. Pretty unfortunate given the success in the first half of that drive. Have to rely on Aubrey here to get us on the board, and he will. And that's at least a positive to get us going here. We score our first drive. Now let's jump over to the defense here and see what this new work defensive line can do. Or honestly, how about we get a pick there? Not sure if Alexander could have gotten there. It was an overthrow by Joe Burrow, playing for the other team in Ohio. As it's a stretch up top, not going anywhere. We contain Gibbs. Alohi Gilman gets the tackle there, and he was actually in the running for best DB, though he was buried on the list. Around 7 or 8, I believe. 3rd and long, wide open that time. First down for the Browns. Burrow hooks up with his tight end. And that is Michael Mayer, if I'm not mistaken. He is actually an eligible tight end for this series. Obviously, we went with Higbee earlier due to the spinny wheel as Burrow throws away. Joshua Allen providing some pressure there. Still not much down the middle, but let's give it some time. It's our first drive of the season. As Burrow, quick throw underneath, quick tackle comes in from Pashal. Will be a gain of 6. Now that's just one of the names that I assume I'm pronouncing correctly, but also incorrectly. No one's ever corrected me, but I also said Duggan or Dugan for the longest time rather than Duggan. So you never know. If I'm wrong, correct me. As the Browns pick it up again on 3rd. And with that fresh set of downs, they're going to spread empty here. They got 2 stacked down below. The rest up top as they do go up to Mayer. First down inside the red zone. A quick pass worked out pretty well for him there. 1st and 10 at actually just inside the 18, more like 17 and a half. As they got 2 spread to either side. Another quick throw. That one is picked. J.O.K. intercepts Joe Burrow. Will take over at the 21, maintaining our lead. Now we just need to widen that lead as we start with a 3-yard rush to Kyron Williams. 2nd and 7, we get 9 to Levy Brown. 1st and 10, 6 going back to Williams. Need to make sure we get the running game going, but also continue our deep shots downfield. But as long as we keep getting 6 or so yards every rush, hey, why not? As Jordan Brooks shaken up on the play. That's going to take out one of their interior guys. We go back to the rookie in Brown. 1st and 10, thrown away at the 34 as we start the 2nd quarter here. Gain of 5 as we are miraculously down to the 12. So it looks like we got something to start the quarter. It just did not show up on our screen. Madden is Madden. 2nd and 5 here. Receiver in motion. It's the jet sweep, but swallowed up. Loss of 2 going to Robinson. Hutchinson just happens to be right place, right time, leaving us with a 3rd and 8 as we have 2 up top. We got 1 down to the bottom. Setting up the halfback screen, couple blockers in top, cut back towards the middle there, Williams. You had some blockers. Instead, it is 4th and 4 at the 10. But given the success, or rather lack thereof, in this series, offense is staying out. We're going to be aggressive this year. I would love Tommy Tremble leaking to that right-hand side, but we're not going to force anything. Take the open option, as that open option is going to be Higbee. 1st down and out at the 3. Now we just need these boys to finish off the drive. 1st and goal as we hand it off Williams, who extends the play even though he had a lane to cut through. Looks like we're just missing some easy reads here to start the season. That will just come as you get into the flow of the game. As speaking of the flow of the game, 2nd and goal, back to Williams, who fights into the end zone. Had to get that last push, maybe 3rd effort, extends our lead to 10. Well, let's start getting this one moving once again. We're going to go through the red zone kind of sim, as I like to call it. They get inside the red zone, we're definitely going to watch. 3rd and 1, they get the 1st down to Deontay Johnson. Then a throwaway. 2nd and 10, 5 yards back to Mayer, gone his way a lot. 1st down, Kadarius Toney on 3rd. And a sack comes in, Yaya Diaby. 1st of the season. 2nd and 15, they get 7 right thereafter. Leaving them with 8 here on 3rd down. They get 25. Now the Browns moved pretty well on their first drive. It was the turnover that ended it. If we could get another one here, 1st and goal at the 7, that'd be great. Though Joe Burrow looking for the end zone here as he scrambles, diving. He gets flipped, but is in. They pull it back here before halftime, make it 10-7. With all of our timeouts, a minute 52 on the clock, let's head out here with the offense for a 2-minute drive. See if we could get anything going here as Levis will avoid the sack. Actually end up picking up 5 yards as we get back to the line quickly. Need at least a field goal before halftime for a little bit of some comfort, though obviously not a full lead. As we got our guy coming across, that's going to be Robinson picking up the 1st down and scampering out of bounds. Again, really the offense scheme here is shots downfield. Medium, not so much. Short, we're okay. Deep, that's where we love to go here with Levis. He's got a big arm. As we toss it out, it's for Beverly, and he brings it in down at the 10. Had to go up for it, and he brought it down. And with that, it brings the run game back into play here as we have still all of our timeouts. Going back to Williams, great blocking, juke and in. We will retake that 10-point advantage before halftime. Efficient, no timeouts used. But if that's the kind of play we could see from this offense, that is what we expect from the offense as Bentley knocks it away, leaving 3rd and 2. They get 26 to Johnson. No timeouts remain for them, and Paschal gets a sack from the interior. He played a little bit of that to end last season, though. Tony pops off for 27. And field goal before half, so they will drop back to a touchdown game. With 8 seconds left, we'll run it into halftime and keep on moving. Though it should be the Browns starting with possession, and indeed they do. A great opportunity for him to try to draw this game back, though a penalty on Eric McCoy will back him up, 2nd and 20. Though they get 16 right after, 3rd and 4. 26 go to Michael Mayer. We've given up some big pop shots, and maybe that would be the one trade we would have to do this season as Allen picks up the sack on 3rd. We may need to bring in another top starting caliber guy at corner, just a pair on the opposite side. We've done pretty well up to this point, but to push us over the edge, we might need more. As we go 3 and out on offense, going to be the Browns taking back over as they get a 1st down back to Mayer, 11 more to Johnson, 15 back to Mayer. A lot of big chunk plays here. Bentley finally knocks one away. 2nd and 10, they get 5 to Gibbs. Leaving 3rd and 5, they get the 1st down to John Mechie the 3rd. 1st and 10, 6 back to Gibbs. 2nd and 4, 1st down rush, or 1st down catch back to Mechie. No, it was a rush. I was correct. Either way, they're inside the red zone. So it seems like we do need this defense to tune things up a little bit here. We have some of the best possible guys at every level, but we keep leaving guys open just like that, and the juke will tack on a couple extra yards. Mechie showing off the little shifty moves there. Gets them down to the 11. Another fresh set of downs. Though they still have enough space for another fresh set as it's held on to. Valentine came crashing down. Though unfortunately, Tony held on to that one. 2nd and 5 at the 6. 1st down is at the 1. They hand it off Gibbs with a little bit of some space, but not going to get by Bentley. And now Jonah Jackson injured on the play. That's going to take out one of their better offensive linemen. 3rd and 3 then for Burrow. As he throws across the middle, it's off the head of Bentley. Maybe shoulder pads. Either way, it's a broken up pass. And while it's not exactly how you want it, you force the field goal here at the 4, keeping the lead intact as they do actually kick it. Make it 17-13. What's it going to be, offense? We're going to keep pushing here, or are we going to give up? We get the 1st down to Higbee. That hopefully should mean we're going to keep the push forward as we get to the 4th quarter here. Kyron Williams gets a gain of 5. 1st down goes to Brown. With that 1st down, we get another 1st down to Higbee. Into plus territory well here, down to the 34. 2nd and 6, thrown away. 3rd and 6, thrown away. This might be field goal range for Aubrey, so we'll send him out. Or not. We get the 1st down thanks to Robinson. Love the play call there from the OC. 1st and 10 at the 23. We will jump in from here. A little bit of some play action. Levis going towards the end zone. It's knocked away. I like taking that shot on 1st down, though don't force it into double coverage. We're trying to go for the rookie there in Brown. 2nd and 10. It's another throw, this time to the flat. Brought in by Higbee, but it's just a gain of 1. With that, we're going to try to make sure we're running off as much clock as possible, though a 1st down could be great here. 3rd and 9, Levis going towards the end zone. It's tipped away, underthrown from Robinson. From there, we will have to settle for the field goal here to keep that touchdown advantage. As long as we snap the ball, there we go. Aubrey, it is up and through. Old defense, you're up a touchdown here. 4:42 on the clock. Can you get the stop? Can you maintain the lead? They dump it off for Gibbs. He shakes 1. Not going to get by the next 2, but does pick up 7. We've obviously seen the line jump by good chunks quite often. 11, 15, 20 plus. Can we limit that here late on? Catch comes in, but he's going to pay for it is Mechie. His 3rd catch, 22 yards in total, but at least half of those, I guess can't really do half with 3. 2 of those have been for 1st downs. As Gibbs shaking a little bit, picks up 7. only averaging 3.7 yards per rush. Not too bad for Gibbs, or for us against Gibbs. As it's thrown right to JOK, a second pick in the opening game, 2 on Joe Burrow. Now I will jump out here with the offense to make sure we play smartly here. Gotta just run out the clock. Williams cut back lane, little juke, not gonna get by Battle, but it's a first down. And we'll just need 1, maybe 2 more of those as we're approaching the 2-minute warning. Under 2:30 left here. We go back down the middle, Williams between some blocks and getting close to the first down, 2nd and 1. But the 2-minute warning will hit there, giving us a very short down to help try to seal this game. 2nd and 1 at the 23. It's a little bit of some read option. It's all Williams as he will juke, slide past 1, back juke, cutting towards the middle. He gets down to the 4. Timeouts being called. And considering the lack of scoring we have seen from this team, I don't want to take away points, though I do want to run off some clock. As we go down the middle, Williams, he tried to go up, inevitably gets taken back down, and it's at most a gain of about the length of the football. 2nd and goal, going back down the middle. He tried it again, slightly more successful, this time down to the 1. As they're not stacking the box against what they know is going to be a run, and Williams does get in the end zone. That is a game of millimeters and hopefully is the nail in the coffin. Or, as kind of expected, we are going to go into a booth review here. No idea if he did actually cross the plane. That look does not help, nor does that one. But they will end up reversing the call, so take the points off the board then, as we're going to have to come out here or we don't have to, but we want to try to put this game away here. We need some good blocks to the left-hand side, and Williams is in for sure that time. Runs through the defender and hopefully again is carrying us to victory. And with no timeouts, under a minute left, you would surely think it would, but a big play gets the Browns started. Under 30 seconds now as they get 29 more back to Johnson. A penalty comes in on Josh Jones. Time is running out. 27 back to Mechie, though comes up a yard short on the final play. They will get a touchdown, all for the stat sheet, but that is a win for us in week 1, not in division, which is actually where we've typically done better in this series. But we start 1-0. Now let's try to carry that momentum forward and get off to a hot start. And the boys would pick up another win in week 2, though drop a close one to the Commanders in week 3. And that was just a good battle. All really came down to a field goal scored in the first quarter. 400 yards though for them, under 300 for ourselves. Will Levis, a very average game here, 60% completion, 1 touchdown, no interceptions, and 172 yards. Edwin Clifford, third-year player for the Commanders. You know, some good, some bad there, but overall, they won the game, and that's what counts the most. Christian McCaffrey over 100 yards, though Kyron Williams, very comparable between those two. And Will Levis did scramble in for a touchdown. Again, the stats very similar, though, to Clifford. How was the receiving game? Want to see mostly how our young guys did. Johnny Beverly, a first down, a catch, and a touchdown. Levi Brown held to just 2 catches, 37 yards. Need a little bit more from him. And the fact that the 3 top receivers all on the side of the opponent, not great. How about defensively? Anything good here? Well, our leading tackler was our corner. Not necessarily that's a good thing. Josh Allen, though, did get 2 TFLs, though most went their way. McFadden, Diaby, and Tillery all had 1 as well. Sacks, Allen had 1, Tillery had 1. Split sack with JOK and Zadarius Smith. Interceptions, Bentley had 1, and Alohi Gilman. Kicking, pretty good day for Aubrey, though unfortunately, we lost. Against the Texans in division, though, we did put up nearly 400 yards. giving up a little under 350 ourselves. 2 touchdowns for Levis, 212, 65% completion, not too bad. A very similar day to Hurts, though slightly cleaner without having the interception. Running the ball, great game from Kyren Williams, 8.7 yards a carry, 1 touchdown, though Bijan Robinson did pretty well as well. And the rookie in Sheldon Franklin did get a touchdown. Receiving, Wan'Dale Robinson, top guy here, 3 catches, 102 and a touchdown. Tyler Lockett, pretty solid day's work for him. And Beverly, 2 catches, 35, not great. And again, just 2 catches for Brown, though at least one of them was a touchdown. So that gets us to week 4, where it's a very interesting dynamic here in the division. The Jaguars, who just won the Super Bowl, a little bit of that Super Bowl curse. They've started 0-3, same as the Texans. The Titans, as well as ourselves, are 2-1, and we play the Titans up next. So with that, of course, I want to jump into a quarter sim here. We start off with a field goal. That's how we started in week 1. First quarter ends with that field goal lead, 7-3. And they tack on an extra field goal. We get a field goal and give up more points before half. So not too good there of a second quarter. Let's see if the third is any better here for us as we get a stop on defense. We get a touchdown. Fourth quarter has arrived. And it is 17-14. So let's slow things down. 14 yards goes to Gabe Davis. First and 10, 5 yards Alvin Kamara. Second and 5, 9 to Everett, who I believe retired. Maybe I'm thinking of a different tight end. Either way, there was a recent tight end that retired. Another big gain for Everett. Kamara loses 2. Second and 12. 11 for Puka Nacua, leaving 3rd and 1. They get 4. We could really use, with the defense getting a stop here, force the field goal, keep it a touchdown game. We can manage that. As they will look to throw, dumping it off. That goes Puka Nacua, who's up to an X factor here. I don't know if that is just his base now starting dev trait or if he's progressed in this series. Either way, fantastic rookie season for him. 2nd and 1 for the Titans as they look to throw. Burr up top, going back to Puka, who is out at the 1. Well, defense, can we get a push here? This is where having mostly edge rushers down the middle, not great, and that's exactly where they attack. Reggie Gilliam puts them up by 10. Well, offense, we need some big plays. Just under 4 minutes left, all of our timeouts, but we need 2 scores here, a touchdown and a field goal at the minimum. Can we find that? As we have our guy coming across, that's Robinson with a big catch. Hurry up offense throughout here. We need the big plays, though we are going to shake it up a little bit. Move Robinson to the left-hand side, Beverly to the right. Who's going to get open here? Will Levis just going to look to scramble as he trucks the defender. We jump back on it. Beverly, thank you. Needed that. Next time, Levis slide. I appreciate the effort trying to get as many yards as possible, but right now we need to not throw a pick. Maybe pushing a little too hard there. Force that one for sure. We get a little bit lucky. Change up the formation a little bit here. Need some play downfield, not much. Levis dives forward this time. He will pick up 5. We need at least the first down. Still going to keep the 2 to the right-hand side plus Higbee. Brown, one-on-one to the left-hand side. Get it towards the sideline. Beautiful throw from Levis, though they say he did not catch it in bounds. That's where the rookie has to have better awareness of the sideline. That should have been a first down. Instead, we got Higbee and Brown, primary options here. Though we just need someone to get open. That's going to be Brown, but he drops it through the hit. A disappointing last 2 plays there for the rookie. Puts us in a bad spot. First down, we're out of timeouts. Though we do get the ball. Not much time, and it's 3rd and 6. Well, offense, what do we have here? Hopefully a miracle. That's what we would need for the win. As we're going to have Higbee across the middle, and he drops that one a little too far out in front. We at least still have one more down here to try to make something crazy happen. And maybe that crazy is moving over Williams to that right-hand side, sending him out on the wheel as they might bring some extra pressure that side. Or he's just open And he holds on to it. We've got a little bit of hope here, but we've got to score near immediately. Again, no time to waste here as I had to flip the formation. That's a little bit of wasting time, wouldn't you think? Well, let's actually send Beverly straight down the middle as well. No one quite on him, but neither is Levis. Those are the kind of throws we cannot afford to be missing, though we've been missing with Levis. To the outside, that's going to be 2-on-1, and it's swatted from the safety. Titans doing a really good job in coverage here late. What we needed our defense to do in sealing the game. As we need something to open up here. We don't get the inside release, though McDuffie drops the easy pick. But with 16 seconds left, 4th down, we will continue pushing as we go spread empty. 3 to the right, 2 to the left. Who's going to get open for us? Well, Levis is going to tuck and run. Maybe that's the 1st down. Indeed it is, but there's no time left. Titans will remain atop the division as we drop our last 2 games. And make that stretch now 3 games dropped in a row. Well, I guess the Titans was technically 2 score, but at least 2 of these losses were 1-score games. It was a 3-point game against the Commanders, 4-point against the Jaguars. We had a 10-point win against the Texans and a 7-point win against the Browns. So most of these games have just been extremely close. Now, unfortunately, we have a pretty early bye in week 7. So week 8, that would be the start of next episode. So let's jump into this Cowboys game and see if we can at least finish strong. And we're going to be jumping into the second half of this one where we are currently down 17-3. Hopefully we start a good way here as we pick up 8 going to Brown, and we need some efficiency in this second half from this offense. We need to see them take some step forward, as continually they're kind of the side that I feel like is holding the team back despite having more higher end players. I feel like, though obviously we've had to add a lot for the defensive side. There goes Brown. Nice 1st down catch for him, getting us into plus territory. Really need him and Beverly to open up play downfield, give some space for the guys underneath like Robinson, Higbee, and even the running game, as that's a pretty decent cut there from Williams. He had 2 options. He instead decided to go to the bottom instead of towards the middle. Though, who knows if the middle would have been better. 2nd and 6 following the gain of 4. We go back to Williams, who gets stuck on the lineman and will go nowhere. Those are the kind of plays we didn't really see much from him in Season 1. Started to see them a little bit in the second half of Season 2. As we do get the 1st down there going to Beverly, getting us down to the 28. Only his 1st catch of the game so far. Though he's primarily been matched up against Christian Gonzalez, a really good young corner. We follow it with a stretch down to the bottom. Williams not going to outrun number 0, though Jeffrey Simmons shaken up on the play. That could help open up some play for us down the middle, though they still have a superstar and an X factor on their line, plus a superstar linebacker. And should have been a pick for that superstar, though honestly, couldn't tell you what the name of the player is. 3rd and 6, trips up top, Higbee down below. Will Levis looking to throw, going up and missing Beverly. Thrown behind him, he is 13 of 20. We simply just need better. 4th and 6, kind of at a spot where we have to go for it here. Gonna make a change, hot route, Brown going on the slant. Higbee going out on the wheel. And we'll just look to run here with Levis. 1st down, hold on to the ball. He will. It's keep the momentum going from that, as they have a stacked line here. If we could get to the 2nd level, that would be great. Williams, I mean, we kind of did. We just didn't fully get through. But against a stacked front, not too bad. 2nd and 7. We're going to go with a halfback screen this time, see if we could slip him out. Which we've got some blockers. Just need that last one at the edge, which we get into the end zone, but there's some dirty laundry on the field. And it would appear Fortner just got too much of a hand on the player. Will push us back for 2nd and 12. Maybe Higbee towards that right pylon. Could be a solid option here for us. Or dump it off into the flats. See if we could get a juke, which we do. We slip them, but don't get the block there from Beverly. We pick up a couple, leaving us with a 3rd and 5. Don't like the look for the play call we had originally called. So let's shake it up instead. Robinson on the late in. Like that as an option. And in fact, that's where we're going to go, as he does not get by 0. That is Smith. I was hoping we could find a little bit of a peel back lane or get a decent block. Unfortunately, did not show. So 4th and 3. We get a first down at the 1. To the outside, that's Tommy Tremble into the end zone. We get one of the 2 touchdowns back that we needed. Now, can we just get a good stop from the defense? Well, we give up 7, play 1, though. Get the TFL, leaving 3rd and 5. We give up 10 to Curtis Samuel. Luckily, we've got time here as Pashal picks up a sack. Can't wait to check the stats at the end. And come on, Jordan Addison. Doing me wrong here. He goes 67 yards to the house. Back to a 2-score game here. As we approach the 4th quarter, it's a sack for Will Anderson Jr. 5 yards to Williams. 3rd and 14 to start the 4th quarter. We get 5. 4th and 8 backed up here. Feel like we need to punt away. Defense has to get a stop as Dak picks up 8. 13 to Curtis Samuel. 2-yard rush. Hall 2nd and 8. They get 12 back to Jordan Addison. 2 yards back to Hall. And 3. 3rd and 5. 9 to Noah Gray. Just slowly milking this clock away. Addison gets another. It's a pretty big lead, though we are moving down the field. We get a first down inside the red zone. Need to at least come away with some good stats if we're going to walk away with just 2 wins once again through the first half of the season here. Play action, Will Levis going towards the end zone, and we have the rookie. Levi Brown's first career touchdown that we get to watch at the minimum. A good placement. That is the throws we need from Levis. Put it where your guys can get it. But unfortunately, that one might be a little bit too late. As the Cowboys still up 31-17, we're out of timeout. Sack from Zadarius Smith. We at least take over. Can we find some more points? Because honestly, at this point, pun intended, we just need a little bit of some momentum for this offense. Carry over into next episode where hopefully we'll go on a tear as it's out for Beverly, but it's overthrown. For a quarterback whose accuracy is supposed to be his best downfield, we've seen a lot of misses from Will Levis today. Though we've seen a lot of misses from him just in general as he gets swallowed up by Buckner. But why not keep the offense out here? Can't really do any harm unless someone gets injured. Hopefully they don't. We got 3 to the right-hand side, 1 to the left. Need to pick up a first down here. It's downfield and in front of Beverly, who was wide open. Well, that will unfortunately continue the losing streak. We started with 2 wins, but then since then, we've dropped, well, the next 4. So, what to do moving forward? Well, right now we have the 31st ranked offense and 23rd defense. Now, I'm going to jump into this stat column over here first because I want to see where we can make the most bang for our buck if we do decide to make a trade. So in terms of who's giving up the most amount of yards passing versus rushing, we are not doing great. 1674. Meanwhile, the best is at 1073. So we are the 5th worst passing defense. How about rushing? We are actually sitting pretty well. 661, worst 486. So we are slightly above average. So it seems like we actually need more help in the pass defense. So maybe what we do need is to find, if possible, another corner. So that'll probably be where we start next episode. But let's see where the team is at right now. Will Levis is actually having a much better season this year. 7 touchdowns, 1 interception. He's at least just not turning the ball over as much. We could do with more touchdowns. 62% completion, that could be a little bit better, relying a lot on young talent in the receiving group. Kyron Williams, 5.7 yards a rush, 6 touchdowns, no fumbles. but he's only at 98 attempts. So he's a little bit below where I would want him to be through 6 games. I want him at 20 per game, so he's definitely behind that mark by about 20 carries. Receiving wise, it is Levi Brown leading the group, though it's very close with our top 3. Beverly, 16 catches compared to Brown, and it's really a minimal difference in yardage, though Beverly is bringing in a majority of the touchdowns, 3 for him and then 1 for a few other players. As for blocking, it has not been a great start for Stanley. He's given up about a sack a game. Truman, McGlinchey, Banks, and Fortner all doing a much better job and at least not giving up sacks. Doesn't necessarily mean that they're not giving up pressure. Defensively, JOK leads the team with 50 tackles, closely followed behind by Bentley. But how is the tackles for losses and sacks going? Allen has 6 TFLs, Bashal has 5, as well as Diaby and Smith. So I actually think we're doing better, given the fact that our entire defensive line is made out of edge rushers. One formerly an outside linebacker even. And then sack-wise, Smith leads the team 4.5 from the interior rush point. Josh Allen already at 4. He had 10.5 last year. Bashal at 3. So we're doing better. And we're going to continue rocking with that group. JOK leads us with picks. He had 2 in the first game. Gilman, Bentley, and Alexander each had 1 in the games thereafter. And lastly, kicking. 100% for Aubrey. So at least the close games aren't due to him just missing field goals. So it was definitely a slow finish to the episode, given the 2 wins to get us going. We got to get back on track. Right now, the Titans are ahead of us by 2 games. Plus, they have the game up on us as they took the first one. So a win to start off next episode could be really big for us. Then we have a couple weeks gap until we maybe meet another divisional foe. Texans still doing worse than us, so there's at least that. Do not miss out on who we potentially may trade for, and leave some ideas down below as well. Looking for defensive backs, I don't care if they're safeties or corners. Either way, they've got to go play corner if they have the skill set to do it. So name drop those down below, but also make sure you tap that bell icon in the bottom right, or scroll down, hit the sub button, and definitely tap that bell icon so you're notified of when these videos go live. This series every single Tuesday and Thursday. Plus we have the Panthers traditional franchise where we are in the playoffs. NFC Conference Championship will be tomorrow. So do not miss out there, and come back again on Thursday as we push for hopefully a good trade that'll get this team over the edge.
How it's supposed to feel.